and the All Indiana Podcast Network. This is the News 8 Daily 8 Podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update.
Hello, I'm Jeremy Jenkins, and this is your News 8 Daily 8 Podcast for Monday, April 14th. We begin at the State House, where a key vote could lead to tens of millions in funding cuts. Later today, the State Senate will take up the House's revision of Senate Bill 1. It's the property tax relief bill that could lead to dramatic cuts in revenue for schools and local governments. The Indiana State Teachers Association already had a day of action planned, but now several school districts, including IPS in Pike Township, have declared e-learning days so teachers and staff can join the protest. The Indiana Library Federation tells us it's also asking supporters to show up and speak out against the bill. While lawmakers could send that property tax overhaul to the governor's desk as early as this afternoon, News 8's government reporter Governor Beckwith reports.
Property tax plan is back in the Senate after it passed the House on Thursday. A concurrence motion has already been filed for Monday. If approved, that would mean the Senate would accept the House's changes and send the bill to the governor.
The measure would let you claim up to a 10% credit on your total property tax bill, up to a maximum of $300. Seniors on fixed incomes could claim an additional $150 credit. Disabled veterans could get a $250 credit. The measure would cost local governments about $1.4 billion over 3 years. Schools would bear the brunt of it. Hamilton Southeastern schools would lose nearly $27 million over that period. IPS would lose about $14 million. Many cities would lose money too. Beech Grove would lose about $1.3 million. In practice, how much excess does the average local government in Indiana have? How much wiggle room is there?
There's not much room at all on property taxes. I've been involved with local government for most of my life. Seems like every 20 or 25 years, state government tries to step in and do something with property taxes.
Helmke served 3 terms as mayor of Fort Wayne in the 1990s. He says a loss of property tax revenue will force counties to raise local income tax rates.
I think for most homeowners, it's probably going to be a wash, because if you own a home, you could see a $300 property tax reduction. But I think maybe not next year, but within the next 2 years, you're going to see an income tax hike that's more than that. And I know the legislators and the governor are talking about, oh, gee, we're putting this cap on what the local income taxes can be. I looked at the county by county property tax rates. I think there's only 1 or 2 counties that are presently at the 2.9% cap. So that means that every other county has plenty of room to raise the income tax another 1%, and that's going to end up costing people.
Remember to tune in to Wish TV for All Indiana Politics every Sunday morning at 9:30 to hear from your elected officials and in-depth analysis of what they're doing. I'm Garrett Bergquist for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
On Capitol Hill, President Trump now says there will be no exemptions. Smartphones and laptops will face a 20% tariff. That's a reversal from what U.S. Customs and Border Protection said Friday when tech appeared to be spared. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says that exemption was temporary and those electronics will now be grouped with upcoming tariffs on semiconductors. The White House says the move is part of a broader push to shift tech manufacturing back to the U.S. China has responded by suspending exports of key minerals used in chip production. Critics warned the back and forth could rattle markets and hurt consumers. In Hendricks County, Plainfield Community School Corporation is making changes to its non-discrimination policy. Gender identity is no longer protected. The district says the move is tied to state and federal executive orders to remove diversity, equity, and inclusion from schools. iTeammates Kyla Russell reports.
This is a copy of the Plainfield Community School Board's non-discrimination policy. I've highlighted the 3 times the word gender is mentioned just on the first page, saying it's a protected class. But now those words will be wiped away from the policy, and advocates are pushing the board to reverse course.
Do the right thing. Claw it back. Put the protections back in place.
Shannon Walsh is the executive director of Hendricks County Pride and a therapist in the area. She believes the change isn't in line with the community's values.
Kindness, compassion, empathy, acceptance, belonging.
The Plainfield School Board asked for community input. They received over 50 letters.
Angela Egler with Hendricks County Pride claims more than 40 of those letters urged the board not to cut gender identity protections.
And the Plainfield School Board had the opportunity to stand on the right side of history, and instead they made the decision in a vote that was 3-2 to remove gender identity as a protected group of students.
I reached out to the school corporation to find out why they had made the decision. Officials referred me to a statement made ahead of the vote, saying the changes are in response to executive orders from both Governor Mike Braun and President Donald Trump. The corporation said these proposed changes aim to preserve the funding that supports all students by aligning with government requirements. Plainfield schools remain steadfastly committed to protecting and ensuring a safe educational environment for every student in our schools.
When you have a blanket statement saying we protect all students, it really means in a lot of ways you protect no students. And it means you don't protect the most vulnerable.
And advocates say the loss of protection could increase bullying.
Gender expansive communities, specifically children, have been centered as a political talking point, as political rhetoric that is harmful.
Advocates also tell me they're worried the move will prompt other schools in the area to follow suit. Aside from Plainfield, all school districts in Hendricks County currently list gender or sexual orientation as a protected class in their non-discrimination policies. I'm Kyla Russell for Wish TV. WishTV.com or follow us on Facebook for updates.
Let's talk sports. The Pacers get their biggest comeback in team history, fighting back from a 27-point deficit to get 50 regular season wins for the first time in 11 years. Indiana was down by 2 with 16 seconds left when a steal and pass to Johnny Furphy ended with a dunk and tied the game. It went into double overtime. Then the Pacers beat the Cavaliers 126-118 in a game in which both teams rested most of their top players ahead of the playoffs. Turning to the track, where Tony Stewart picks up a win in yet another form of racing. The former IndyCar, NASCAR, and short track great picked up his first career NHRA Top Fuel win on Sunday. The Columbus, Indiana native clocked in at 3.870 seconds, hitting 317 miles an hour at the strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Stewart has now won on all the tracks in Las Vegas: the oval, the short track, the dirt track, and now the drag strip. When it comes to the weather, Storm Track 8 says we are in for a pleasant day. We're off to a cloudy start with isolated showers possible this afternoon. Meteorologist Marcus Bailey has your News 8 Daily 8 forecast.
Milder temperatures today. I think we push close to 70 degrees. I do think we'll have the winds to kind of contend with here. But look, you're going to notice the difference already here early this morning. We're sitting at 60 degrees right now in Plainfield, 59 Fishers, and 58 degrees currently in Greenfield this morning. We're anywhere between 10 to 15, maybe even 20 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago. So it's already a significant boost here for this morning, and we will benefit from that. I don't foresee any major issues for the morning drive here. Numbers will hold into the mid and upper 50s, mild, quiet. The winds will kind of ease up a little bit, but I still don't think it's going to be as strong as what we had to contend with yesterday. It's 60 right now. It is a mostly cloudy sky. Wind gusts peaking anywhere between 20 to 25 miles per hour. That's probably where we're just going to hang out for the remainder of the day today. 20 to 25 mile per hour winds as we roll through the afternoon hours. Precip chances here for today from noon to say around dinner time. I'm going to say isolated showers, maybe a rumble of thunder. There is an outside chance, very slim chance for maybe a gusty storm, maybe a little bit of hail east or southeast of Indianapolis, but I don't think that's going to be a widespread issue. We go well above average today, a high of 70 degrees. Normal high should be around 64 for this time of year. I do think we'll scale the temperatures back pretty drastically for your Tuesday. I'm also eyeing some areas of frost and potentially some stronger storms late in the week. We'll time that out in my Storm Track 8 forecast coming your way in just a few minutes.
To get a peek at Marcus Bailey's full forecast, just head over to wishtv.com, or you can download the Wish TV Storm Track 8 app. And don't forget to check out our Storm Track 8 weather blogs. This has been your News 8 Daily 8 podcast for Monday, April 14th. I'm Jeremy Jenkins for Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
This is the News 8 Daily 8 podcast, a Wish TV News 8 update on demand. For even more, on demand and on the go, connect with Wish TV on Facebook at wishtv.com and on the free Wish TV mobile app. Thank you for listening, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow this podcast for updates every weekday morning on the All Indiana Podcast Network and wherever you get your podcast.